Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Abyss. Here's where I cover my Opus 14 journey and the decks I build, how they playtest, the changes we make, and the matchups, and how we did it locals. Got a lot of things to cover. We did have two locals this week. I don't know if you caught the stream, but on Friday, the 13th I think it was, I was able to head up to a new locals up in our area, Prodigy Games. You guys can catch I put the video up earlier this week, so you guys can check that out. I took all three of these decks with me to both the Friday locals at Prodigy Games and my locals at PPG, and they all tested very well. Actually, no, that's a lie. The monks didn't test very well at all, but that was an ambitious trial that I wanted to do. Anyway, this is the ExKnights now. It's not Fire Water Knights anymore. It's more like the EX burst that we saw come from the Japanese lists, incorporated in with my Fire Water Knights. And I do like the changes and all of everything this deck brings together, and we'll go over it right now. So we have the two Porum, Beatrix, the Larsas are the new addition. Lets you swap out cards from your damage zone. I brought back the rain. I added the fire rain and I added the light rains. Gawain, and the Axstar is the real piece too, right? Not only does he help us trigger all of these EX bursts, but he helps us get the rains faster. At 3 damage, you're pretty much set to OTK people, and that's kind of what this deck does. It plays very well, and it's like he's just such a good card now, and I appreciate him a lot more. Remember, at 3 damage, you are able to search an FFBE character, which is obviously the rain. Normally, we go for the light ones here, just in case we play a Gawain later to get the fire ones out. And the Garlands, Lakshmi's at 2 now, and I'm still playing this extra Garland and 2 Susanos. The summons changed a little bit too. Now we have 2 Kuchulains, Amaterasus, 2 of these Bahamets, 2 Remoras, and 2 Leviathans. This gives us a little bit of everything, and now we have a little more EX Burst. I think the EX Burst count is at 17. I think I took some out from the backup line, like the Zaz and stuff like that. But Princess Sarah stayed, Ovelia stayed. Now, I know we talked about it last time that I took out the Ovelias. No, not the Ovelias. The Agrius. The Agrius, because this was a little too clunky. I think it was just the Agrius that was clunky. The reason I say that now is because when I do the Sarah plays, I still search for Princess Sarah, and now I make her fire usually, and I don't have to have a fixation around having the Ovelia, especially if I don't have 2 backups. The reason we search for the Princess Sarah is to curve out, right? Once we have 2 backups, we're pretty much live to play just about everything in the deck. The Lakshmi, Garlands, Axstars, Gawains, Rains, right? I mean, and the Larsas, Beatrix, Porums, which is the main, 2 is the main number. 2 and 4, and even 6 is the main number for this deck. So that's just the way it works, right? So at 2 backups, the deck is functioning properly, but we still obviously build out more if we can. I think I did keep the 2 Ovelias in there to draw them. There is the Knights still. You like having Garland at 9 and, buffing everyone. The True Chaspo is just there for the mirror match. I didn't use it. I still haven't actually used it. The Goblin is another way to get the rain out. I actually don't like it because I hate losing my backup later, but it is what it is. Zonde was a nice addition too. Sometimes I find myself trying to get that extra point of damage where I have an EX Burst for Axstar to be live, and this card helps out with that. Lenora and Verena just to search out the backup, and the Porums, just more EX, right? And then the Saras and the Thordins. Thordan helps out with the Susano. Thordan helps out with the Axstar. If I actually want to bump Thordan up to 3, so I can have it more likely hit the EX Burst, making Axstar twice as valuable for us. Next is going to be so I went 3-1 at the Prodigy Games and 2-2 at PPG. At Prodigy, we fought another Knights deck. I think it was an Water Lightning. We fought Mono Ice, or it was Ice Lightning. We fought the EX Burst deck from that Tacos was playing, and then the last matchup was an FFBE Gilgamesh deck. Mog Gilgamesh deck with a bunch of colors. All in all, it tested very well. I said, the consistency is there when we played, when we wanted to have the S special, we always had it. So being able to swing 5 forwards at one turn with like a big buff, both from Beatrix triggering as well as Rain's attack, makes it really difficult for my opponent to get through to have like answers for that. So, and then 2-2 on Monday because I think the deck performed well. It did what it needed to do. It was consistent. I feel like I got sacked twice. That's just me. I'm able to recover. My opponent draws Yuan 3-drop Lightning Yuan when I have full board and I'm at 6 damage. So he squeaks in the last point, and then same thing in the one of Lucretius. I'm losing to the one ofs of everyone's decks. So it's just an oversight on my part. I did not read. I couldn't predict or read a Lucretius, the 1-drop fire backup from a mono fire deck. Maybe I'm just not used to it yet, but we'll see. I won't. I'll try not to fall for that again, or I'll try to be prepared for that at least next time. Next was the Mobius Primal deck. I made some changes. We took out the FFBE Sids. We added 3 Graph. We took out 1 Gudon, added Stern. We took out. I don't remember what else we took out, but we added a Titan Lord of Crags. The main reason is I don't have a lot of real good removal. Like, I can kill like the big guys and monsters, and then everyone gets big now. But we don't have any solid removal or board clears because we're playing this Shantoto instead of the other one. That Titan Lord of Crags made it into the list. I think one of our new local Tongsi for this one, for the suggestion here. He really liked my list, but I didn't have an answer for his forwards a few times. So the fact that we have Gabrants, the Tyros, and pretty much ways of searching all the other forwards that you should be able to get this guy fast enough. That like he's a good answer to deal with when we're just building up a Rakro still. We because the Mist Dragons were in the Monks deck, I played Triple Diabolos. Still a very good card, I think, all in all, especially in this deck. I don't find Bismarck to be super useful in here. I don't play him too often. Maybe because the backup line doesn't. Maybe because the forwards in the backup line don't like lend himself to the best of his abilities. That I don't find playing him early on necessary. We're usually going for Wool into X-Death or Yasmat, which are both very strong cards, and then kind of controlling from there. He might not make the cut. I might keep one Garuda for like just in case later, but that might leave up 3 spots for me to mess around with stuff. The Unsag and the Typhon performed well, and I still really enjoy the backup line. The double Echo was new. I took out one Althea, and the Star Sibbles into the Wolves, Tyros, and the Shantotos. The deck plays really well still, so if you guys are looking to try it out, please feel free to do so. This will probably be the last week that I'll be using both the Fire Knights deck and the Mobius deck. I'm just going to go branch off into something else. I've been playing a lot of games with both of them. So, and lastly, I brought this mess of a deck. It's really just monks. And if you watch the monk video I had, we talked about that, like, if you want to play something outside of just monks for consistency, you're losing a lot of stuff. And this was no exception. I was playing 2 Charlotte, 1 Delita, 3 Chivalry, 3 White Tiger, 3 Unai, and 2 Time Mage. The main thing is you want to be able to, greedy Ursula plays with Chivalry. It's just there isn't enough ice synergistic, is that a word? Enough ice backups that synergize well with the deck. I just don't think ice synergizes well with monks, period. And I'm finding that out to be the case. It's not to say there wasn't some really nice plays that are capable from a deck like this. It's just it's not really viable in a competitive meta, really. So like cool things that happened were Cecil damage hitting the Chivalry on the X-Burst, forcing a fight, and then making my opponent discard. The other thing was obviously Ursula getting buffed by Chivalry and then start shooting stuff. The other one was Unai. I don't even think I played Unai once. I found myself mostly pitching just because I never had enough ice. and that's the thing, right? If I wanted more ice stuff, then I would have to get rid of the monks, and we can't do that. We just can't, right? Because then the Ursula thing doesn't really work out. Yeah, I think that's about it. I didn't do much else. The Mont was kind of a waste too. Like I never did Mont into Matt into something else or whatever, or Mont into anything really. It was inconsistent. I didn't like it. I probably won't play it. And if you guys want to test it out and then see if you can work with me, I'd be happy if you would send me a list for once about an updated version or how you see a deck like this would be played. That would be really exciting. Again, like I played the Knights for the tournaments, and I tested both of these other decks on the side with in between games and other matchups and stuff like that. Or sometimes the runbacks, right? I would test these out, and they did okay, but it was never anything good. But yeah, that covers the week pretty much. Let me know which deck you liked, which ones. I'll probably put the lists in there if this video gets to like 10 likes again. I don't want you guys just to take the list and then run before watching or listening to me like talk about the list a little bit. That'll be the rule from now on, I think. If you guys have any suggestions to any of these lists, I'm always open to hearing them. Send your versions of them in the links in the comments below. And if you have any objections to me playing Mono, next week I'm going to try Fire Ice finally, just mainly because I want to try the Susano Chivalry play. I think it's about time I stop, we take the gloves off and just try to use that. But I also want to play Mono Water because I haven't had a good chance to play Leviathan and stuff. So those would be the two decks I'll be taking next week or the following week, assuming I'm unable to go to locals on Monday, or I probably won't be going to Prodigy Games for a little while, but if I do, you guys might want to follow me on Twitch so you know when it's happening. You get the notification that we're live from Prodigy Games in the future. But yeah, that's it for this week's recap, Tales from the Abyss. Thank you for listening. I hope you like the lists, and let me know if you try them out and what you think. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.